Good evening, ladies. It is Wednesday, the 6th of March, 2019. Our Fun Fit and Fabulous team call, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome Olivia Wilken. So Olivia was part of the original Ultimate Portion Fix test group, and you have kindly, thank you so much, agreed to come and have a bit of a chat with us about your experience with it and how you found it, and maybe give us a few tips and a few hints. And I think we've got a few questions for you. So I guess over to you. What I will do is I will mute everyone, and just so that there's no echoing, and then when ladies have questions, by all means just unmute yourself. So Olivia, thank you for agreeing to do this. Do you just start by telling us a little bit about you, how you got into Beachbody, and a little bit about how you got involved with the test group?
Okay, so I actually think it was completely potluck that I got into the test group. In the business builders group, there was a shout out, what's everyone doing in January? Hands up, who's doing Transform 20? And I said, nope. I'm sticking with what I'm doing. I'm sticking with what's working for me. And Thomas replied, are you doing your own, because I'm a PT, are you doing your own food, or are you following Fix 8? And I said, no, I'm doing Portion Fix. It works. Why? It's not broken. Don't fix it, kind of thing. And that was the last of it. I think that was at the beginning of December. And then the day before I was meant to fly to Austria on the 1st of Jan, I get an email saying, congratulations, you are in the Ultimate Portion Fix test group. And I sent him this message saying, what the actual? Because no UK was going to be in there. I was like, is this a hoax? What is it? He's like, no, it's real. Have fun. Go forth.
Cool.
And that's how I got in. I'd had a really good month in November as well. And I think that kind of helped. Suddenly popped up, having had nothing since I joined in October 2017. Right, I'm remembering to look at my camera and not at the screen. So I'd had maybe one or two people sign up. I had one coach that occasionally goes active and inactive, in and out, as she can afford. But yeah, I'd had nothing for a whole year, and then October last year I hit Success Club 16.
Amazing.
I don't know how that happened.
Consistency.
My journey is, well, I think it was actually my coach outed my abs. That's a whole other story. But my story is that I'm a mum of 3. I used to be in the Air Force about 12 years ago, and I was medically discharged for breaking both my legs. Pretty horrific. I was told I'd never walk again. Weight slowly crept back on, not doing a lot of exercise. I was in a kind of an office job in London. Had our first child we lost, and I kind of ate my way through the grief with that. Got pregnant with my now eldest, and kind of ended up a very hefty 220 something pounds with him, and lost a little bit after birth, but kind of then had a second one quite quickly, and so it all came back, and then it dropped off a little bit, and then we had a third baby. So 7 years of being pregnant and whatnot, on and off, and it got to the point where I decided, when my daughter was 10 months and finally in a good evening routine, I said, right, I'm going to take myself out to a class one night a week. And I did that, but it wasn't really enough. And I connected with someone on Instagram. Would you believe it? Someone saying that she was looking to connect with mamas, and she was a baby wearing, cloth nappy washing mama like me. And so we connected over that. And at the time, obviously Beachbody wasn't in the UK. But she suggested, because of my injury history, that I get the Pio DVDs. So I did, off eBay. But I got them secondhand off eBay, and I did 90 days straight of Pio, and my life changed. So there we go.
That's amazing. I was exactly the same. I did Pio after having Lila. It was the program that I was like, I can do this, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I can do it while she's there next to me. I think one of my first Instagram posts, actually, before I signed up as a coach, was Lila lying there with Shalene on the telly. So yeah, Pio all the way. But yeah, that's
Pio all the way. And then I decided, you know that thing at the end of the PIO classes that says, so if there's not a live in class where you are, why not become an instructor? I thought, okay. And then from becoming a PIO instructor, I suddenly decided to train up as a PT and a sports massage therapist. And I now run my own business as a personal trainer, sports massage therapist. I teach live in 2 different venue gyms locally in our town, which Raven's going to be coming to. And and I'm doing all sorts now, which, 10 years ago, I'm running rings around my 20-something-year-old self. It's phenomenal.
Amazing. So how have things changed? And tell us a little bit about your journey with Ultimate Portion Fix since you started with that.
Okay, so full disclosure, yes, I'm a PT. Yes, I should have known, recognized things. But I think coming towards the end of last year, I was busy doing lots. I'd finished lift 4 for the second round. I was fit. I was doing a lot, but I was probably actually completely under eating, over caffeinating. I was getting up, having a coffee first thing in the morning and using that to fuel me to my next meal after drop off. But I'd already have been up, worked out, had a coffee, if not 2 by 9 a.m. and I still hadn't eaten. And then sometimes I'd be heading straight to my first class or PT session. So I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't eating regularly enough. And I was using coffee to drag myself through the day. And sugar, probably actually. I thought I was doing some kind of portion fix because I'd occasionally measure my food out with containers, but I was not consistent. So when January came along, I decided, right, this is it. I did hammer and chisel alongside, but only the main workouts, not the extra add-ons. And I did time nutrition. I took the time nutrition path, which with Ultimate Portion Fix, you have 3 paths. You have foundational, time nutrition, and carb cycling, which for the moment, I can't see an event in my future where I'd need that this year. Possibly for next year, I'm looking to do an ultimate athlete competition because I lift heavy things. And I really got to the point where I really had to cut back on the caffeine, having watched Autumn talk about it and the influence on our adrenal glands and our system. And you know what? It worked. I woke up and I ate first thing with I filled my Shakeology cup with hot tap water. And I would drink that, half of that before I ate my meal and half of that with my meal as my pre-workout. Because I generally work out at about 6:45, 7 in the morning. So I'd get up 5:30, prep my food, which heat it up because I'd meal prep on a Sunday. And I'd eat that, workout, and then after drop off I'd eat again, and 11:30 I was eating again, 2:30 eating again. My life was all about eating for the whole of January. It was all about the food. And I got to talk to Autumn about what plan I was on, which was really great. To have that one-to-one with her was amazing. I said, look, I'm doing hammer and chisel, but I'm also teaching PIO twice a week. I'm teaching boot camp once a week. I'm doing a circuits class, personal training, and sports massage clinic for at least 7 clients a week. And she's like, you're in the wrong bracket. Go up. Plan C, plan D. I was like, I can't eat plan D. There is no way I can eat plan D. So I settled on plan C, which for the moment I'm calling all the carbs. There are so many carbs in that one. It is unbelievable. And I lost 5 pounds. I lost 5 pounds. I lost 6.5 inches, which I was gobsmacked at. I've since had a pretty rough February, and it may have reappeared slightly. Not all of it, but some of it. But that's fine. We go in swings and roundabouts. And it is what it is. But for when I focused and I was consistent and I had the time nutrition, it really worked. But it is a lot of effort. Time nutrition does take dedication, it takes consistency, and it takes some planning. I bought some Igloo meal prep boxes. I don't know if you've seen them, the little compartment ones. Vicky, you're frowning. Hang on, 2 ticks. Get a pack of 10 on Amazon. It's lovely. Love them. Really swear by these. You can get them in two holes and 1 hole. Love the 3-hole. Protein, carbs, veg. Veggies most, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put that back in the freezer. So there is that. I am now drinking less coffee. I've managed to get myself down to 1 coffee a day, and I don't have it in the middle of my day. I tend to have it in the mid-morning. I did think about giving coffee up for Lent, but no. Refined sugars, the sugar addiction thing is a real struggle for me, even now as a PT, because if I've had a particularly busy day, I come in and I am to the carbs in my cupboard that Marie Kondo is tidying up. They just disappear. And it happens. We're not perfect. And I think Autumn's very real about that. If you slip up, draw a line on it. Don't wait till the next day to get back on board. Just get on board the next meal, back on plan. And
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
I was going to ask about the sugar thing actually. So I always find, so like yesterday I did my workout and then taught 4 classes, then got up and did my workout again today, and I am wiped out. I was at an away day and I had 2 cookies and a piece of tiffin, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for me that's quite a lot of sugar. And now I'm having a sugar crash. I can feel I'm having a sugar crash, and I think I'm getting ill. So how would you say your approach, or how has what you've learned in the last couple of months helped you with that sugar side of things when you are so knackered? Because obviously, it's a real thing.
It is a real thing, especially when you've got 3 children in the house. That I had to give myself a serious talking to on several fronts. I think the first one was I never eat cereal. Never. I have oats, I have eggs and sausage and veg. And so if I'm not eating it, why am I letting them eat it? So this year so far, we've completely cut chocolate cereal from what the children have. We still have Weetabix, we still have cornflakes and Rice Krispies, because I personally feel they're quite bland. And we'll top that with either yogurt and fruit, and we'll go that way. And trying to introduce other breakfasts to them. I'm quite happy to make banana pancakes. I'm up early enough to be able to make them breakfast anyway. So there has been that. Taking the sugar out of their diets as well means there's not going to be there for me. I do a lot of home baking, so I look at alternative recipes without refined sugars in, looking at maple syrups and honey instead, and kind of going down the natural sugars route and using some of the fixate recipes and like energy balls and stuff like that. But it's not always practical, and you do kind of stand in front of the cupboard and think, spoon of peanut butter? It does get to that point. But if you are regularly fueling your body, even if you're not on time nutrition, because the thing about time nutrition is, yes, it's eating every 2.5 to 3 hours, but it's the specific combination of pots. With Portion Fix, Autumn is, with like the base plan, Autumn is still encouraging you to eat every 2 to 3 hours and to get up and eat, not do fasted cardio, because actually that slows your metabolism down. You need to get up and you need to kickstart your metabolism by eating, and eat first is what she talks to us about in the group, which is really hard. And I know there are different schools and theories out there, and some people will go, but surely you can shorten the window in which you eat, but that means you're having to cram it in and your body's going to get tired. Regular nutrition throughout the day. And then also when I sit down on the sofa in the evening, I just don't take anything but a hot drink through with me now. I used to take the packet, and then I used to take a couple of biscuits on a plate with me, and now I don't take anything. You just kind of have to wean yourself off it and find out what works for you. But it sucks to say that the easiest way to get off the sugar is to not buy it, not to have it in the house. It's a horrible thing to have to say and do. And I know with a lot of my clients, they look at me and go,
it's true. I would have never eaten that stuff today if I hadn't have been in that environment. If I wasn't at that hotel with the cookie jar on the table and the cakes in the room, I wouldn't have touched it.
See, I went to Sling Library this morning. I go and give back to the local Sling Library, and someone had baked brownies and lemon drizzle cake.
It's when it's
They
there.
were really good. They were really good. Don't go to sling groups. Toddler groups have cake. Toddler groups are dangerous. They have a lot of cake at them.
There's always a lot of cake. So, a couple of questions. So, I did timed nutrition when I did 80-day obsession. I must admit, I've only watched the first couple of videos for Ultimate Portion Fix so far. So, I do my workout at 6 in the morning. 60 to 90 minutes before 6 in the morning is 4:30.
It's 5. 5. Let's be generous. 5.
Okay, so I've got to go back to having my Shakeology at 5. Would she recommend them? I look forward to my Shakeology for breakfast.
Either that or push your workout half hour later if you can.
Yeah.
And get up at 5:30 and drink your shake at 5:30 and work out. I had to incrementally bring my wake up time back by 5 minutes a day, every other day for a good 2 weeks. So I'm now getting up at 5:15.
Yeah, I already get up at 5.
So sorry.
Okay. And
if you're going to work out that, because she says otherwise it's not time nutrition.
No, true. And what would she recommend then if you're having your Energize before you work out as well?
That counts as one of your caffeine portions a day. You should be having 2 caffeine portions. Again, 15 to 20 minutes before should be fine.
Okay.
If you're then having your recover with your purple afterwards, in that first 30 minutes afterwards, it doesn't matter how precise you are. I don't use Performance Line because Whey and me do not get along. So I just included the purple with my meal an hour after I worked out.
Yeah.
And I think I would say it's great that you're taking your time with the films. No, Shakeology isn't a caffeine. No, coffee is one, Energize is one. And Energize, she says it's okay because it's from natural sources. Ideally, try and get it down even lower. Where was I? Yeah. But it's not enough. It's not a high enough percentage. Tea is a lower caffeine percentage than coffee. She did do a graphic somewhere, but I can't remember where. But what I would say is really deep dive into watch all the customer things. I mean, I'm at a bit of advantage. I've had these videos since the 1st of Jan. So I've seen all the customer videos. I've watched them all through 2 or 3 times already myself. So for me, it's all the certification videos that I'm now watching because I'm training up as a master coach that I'm taking through. And really there's some stuff on there that we weren't exposed to at all as a test group either, because she did say to us, look, I'm treating you as a customer, you are just getting the minimum. I'm not going to tell you about that now because I'll dive into that in the master series. She did listen to us on a few things in the test group and brought back into the customer role a little bit more information on pregnancy and breastfeeding, because there was nothing in there originally at all. And considering the majority of people using this are probably going to be women that have at some point been pregnant or are breastfeeding, you know, it's a good thing to know. And as a coach, you should know these too. So that was good. I really liked the vegan options as well. I think it was very well thought through. And the stuff with the kids, my kids went to town with the Eat the Rainbow stuff. They really, really enjoy it, and they still do, and they still like using the portion pots and stuff. So I like how unrestricted it is for them. It's not telling them, oh, you can only have this much. It's okay, what are we eating? Okay, Daniel, you haven't had any protein yet today, or you know, you've already had 4 purples. Do you think you really need another one, or should we try something else to eat? You know, that kind of thing, because he will eat fruits like it is going out of fashion. I dread the summer because all the soft berry fruit from our garden just disappears as soon as it's ripe. That's one of the really big things for me is do watch all the programs first before trying to get started, because she does cover off on quite a lot.
Yeah, cool. And is there any of the recipes for kids that you particularly enjoy or the kids enjoy?
We really liked the Sloppy Joes as a family, but we didn't get access to we didn't get access to Fixate 2 or the kids' recipe book in the test group. So I'm only getting that now as well.
Okay.
Vicky, I've just seen your question pop up about how did I feel? What I really loved and what actually surprised me was what she classes as a sedentary lifestyle for a child, and an active and a very active child, because you know, I had to take an honest look at it and think, well, actually, my children aren't always as active as I think they are. And to get them being active that many hours a week, other than recess, of words, Americanisms, and recess and gym, you know, how much gym do they do at school? 2 hours a week tops. I know schools are getting better. We've had a lot of, they've got to run a mile a week kind of thing. So they send them out round the fields or something. They have a mile smile or something. And they have wake up, shake up. But really, is that much? That's not them active that long. So I think it is a really wise move to not say, okay, you can only have 2 purples today. I think that's the way I approached it. Was I didn't look at it as saying you can only have. I could say, okay, our minimum goal for this week or for today is to get you eating X, Y, Z, because that will help you grow best. And the biggest thing for me was water. And the boys are still coming out proudly showing me at the end of each day. I'll show you how big their water bottles are. They have this size water bottle, which is a 16-ounce water bottle. So this is what I send my children to school with, and I expect them to come home with it empty. Now, for a child, I don't class 8 ounces as a single serving of fluid. I would put it half that to 4 ounces for a child, for me personally. And obviously their body weight is a lot less than ours. So I think my eldest is 25 kilos, which times by 2.2 is about 50 something pounds off the top of my head. So he should only really be having 20 fluid ounces of water anyway a day. So having one of these 16 ounces plus a drink for breakfast and a drink with lunch that's not out of here and a drink with dinner, he probably covers that off. So I think it's really good to encourage them to get those ticks of water in their water chart. And I really like that about it. And all 3 of them got on board with that. So I think that was a really good way to look at it, is a goal rather than a limit.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. That's much more positive, isn't it? And I know that something that Vix has said to me before is that what she's concerned about is using the containers in front of the kids, and here's, you know, mummy putting food onto a plate and making it look like she's like being restrictive in what she's giving herself. How have you sort of managed that?
Hang on, I'm just picking something else. I know my husband's also concerned about when the children especially started asking, oh, what's this? What does this count as? Oh, what does this count as? And, you know, some of that I turned around and said, well, that's a free food. You know, what does honey in our tea count? Because sometimes they like bedbush tea with honey, because South Africans. And a teaspoon of honey. Well, honey's free. Oh, well, what's this? And or if I put a gravy sauce or ketchup, or what's this? I was like, well, that will be a teaspoon, and you get lots of teaspoons to use in your day, because we all need healthy fats. And sometimes they try and focus too much in on the detail because they're kids and they want to know what everything is. And I think the way that we just dealt with it is, well, you don't need to worry about those. We just look at the big things on our plate for today, and the big things on our plate are cauliflower. Which pot does cauliflower? Cauliflower is green, right? And then we've got. And so I was getting them to tell me what was in their pots, and I never really worried about. They actually made it fun. So couscous, you know, couscous and rice gets quite sticky when you cook it sometimes. If you put it in the yellow pot and turn it upside down on their plate and lift it up, it makes little squares on their plate, and they love that. They go mad for that. They think it's absolutely hilarious. Mummy, I've got a square brick of couscous. Brilliant. So then you've measured it out and you've made their food look pretty, just like you do when you're taking photos of Instagram. Oh yeah, you've got your food.
It just arrived.
This is mine.
Yay! Her pack's arrived. I literally only got back at like 20 to 8, so I haven't even checked the letterbox to see if I've had anything come through, but I'm guessing not. That's awesome. So you just make it really fun, really light-hearted, and I guess
and I make sure my plate reflects theirs really. And I think I took a lot of photos on my Instagram of, I'm feeding a family of 5. I can't cook 2 separate meals. So yes, I may add a sprinkle of seeds on my salad, but I'm not going to do it to them because I'll know that it'll end up on the floor with the seeds really, because they'll try and stab it and it'll go, and all that kind of stuff. But with everything else, I make sure I'm try and eat as much as possible from the top third of the list. So sweet potatoes and couscous, and then with the meats and fish as well. And I take them to market with me. Raven and I are quite lucky. Our Monday market here in Abingdon is fantastic. We have fruit and veg seller. We've got a fish seller that I can get really good priced fish at, and the meat man is phenomenal. I managed to pay £20 the other day for 5 kilos of chicken breasts and 2 whole chickens. Just don't even ask me how that's possible, but he is excellent. And for someone like me that eats a lot of chicken, and I know it can get boring, it's good. A good one that I found is white fish with red pesto. Kids quite like that. That was sprinkle it with some breadcrumbs on top that you made from stale bread, and the kids really like that. And just get them involved with choosing food that they like really.
Great. And how are you thinking that this is going to work with existing customers? So I've got a lot of ladies that have been following Portion Fix for quite a while, and they're like, well, why do I need to go for Ultimate Portion Fix? I
think there are 1 or 2 ladies that have been with me for a while that I think Ultimate Portion Fix will be good at, because they're the ladies that maybe fall off the wagon more than others fall off the wagon, because they can't see the real reason behind it all. They just think, I'll try it, but then it gets too fiddly and faffy and it's not really working. I think it will be a great way of explaining consistency and how it can work long term for them all. I think it's going to be it's a great alternative for new clients and new customers that don't want to, can't see how to fit exercise into their life. Where there's that barrier, exercise no, or where there's that barrier, shakes no. Now you've got an alternative nutrition plan to offer them. And for me as a PT as well, it was the only system I recommend. I have to admit completely, I never managed to get on board with 2B. I'm a very visual learner. As I said in the National Wake Up Call, I work well with the pots because I can see what I'm doing and how I'm portioning. Imagining this fluffy line on a plate that's veggies most and then protein just did not work for me.
Fair enough. And how about the meal planning? How do you sort of do that for the week? Obviously you go to the market and all of that sort of stuff.
I shop a lot on Monday. I meal prep all my breakfasts, and then I write a meal plan for the week based on what's in my freezer and what veg I then buy from the market. I do shop with the kids at the weekend when we do our top up for milks and stuff and cheese with the color-coded shopping lists to help them start recognizing, okay, what food groups are we buying? And it's teaching them a lot about macronutrients, which is brilliant because it's setting them up for healthy habits for later. And we can see, okay, we're not just buying in the yellow column, and that we don't need donuts. Donuts are nice, but we've already put that we're having another kind of treat here, so we're not going to have donuts this week. They can be saved for another week. Or if we're buying ingredients to make stuff at home, well, we don't need to buy then store-made stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah, cool. Fab. That's all the questions that I've got written down. Did anyone else have any questions? We've got about another 5 minutes. I know we've had half an hour of your time already, Olivia.
It's fine.
Feel free to unmute yourself, ladies.
What was the biggest takeaway out of the whole thing that you come away with?
For me, it was Autumn talking about how this, and I think I've got a recording, so if I might even send a short snippet that I did. I recorded my screen of her talking and I posted it into one of my challenge groups, and maybe if I send it to you, Raven, you can post it in your group. It was phenomenal. It was just, we can't Amazon Prime our life. We can't Amazon Prime our results. You know, people going, oh, I only lost 4 pounds in the first 4 weeks. Well, flip me, that's brilliant. That's £1 a week, which is sustainable. As a PT, I'd be happy if any of my clients did that. And if you add that up over the year, that's £52. You know, when you look at it long term, we can't expect results in 30 days, in 60 days to be hugely phenomenal. Yes, they might be if you have a lot of weight to lose. But if you don't, and you're actually looking to tone and you've maybe got 5 or 10 pounds, it might take a year to lose 5 or 10 pounds because you're actually working on a lot of other things too. And you might lose a lot of weight initially, but then the second 30 days, you might lose 1 or 2 pounds. I think she was really clear on the fact that, you know, it's all progress and to not be disheartened and to trust the process. I know we say it all the time, trust the process, but it really is true because, you know, did you really drink all your water that day, or did you just drink a lot to begin with and then you tried to play catch up at night? You know, what did you do throughout the day? Guilty. Did you really track all your food and all your pots, or did you cut the crusts off your children's sandwiches as you were making their lunch boxes and eat the piece of cheese instead of putting it in their sandwiches, and you didn't track that? Did you pour out their cereal bowl and maybe have a few bits of the flakes off the top before you added the milk on? Yep. Did you lick the spoon of jam after you made their sandwiches or whatever? All those little things that as mums that we do. I know you know me because we're there in the kitchen and we're cooking and we're licking and we're tasting and we're just, I'll just pick up those extra bits. It doesn't matter if I have an extra slice of cheese. I grate the cheese, I pick up the cheese, I eat the cheese, except I can't eat the cheese anymore. So you hear me, all those little things that we do that actually add up through the day. You know, someone was talking about in the group that they couldn't explain, their mum was doing 80-day obsession, they couldn't understand why their mum wasn't losing these last few pounds. And then they realized that their mom wasn't just having a teaspoon of mayonnaise, she was kind of squirting it over, and at 2 meals a day, 5-6 days a week, that adds up to an extra, I think she calculated at 800 calories a week that her mom was consuming. So why wasn't she losing the weight? Because of mayonnaise.
I did that with peanut butter.
So, you know, it just goes to show, I think that was the big thing, is you have to be consistent with everything, but also don't expect it to happen overnight. You do slip up, and if you do, draw a line, move on.
And then the next meal is a new meal, isn't it?
Yeah, because your body still needs to fuel itself and function. Your body doesn't know the next day that you had too many carbs the day before or too much sugar. It's a new day, it needs to work. So don't punish it and don't restrict yourself.
I love that. Fab. I think we've literally got 2 minutes left. So was there any other questions? That's really, really awesome information. Really, really super helpful.
Like I said, I'll send Raven that short video that I recorded because it really is gold what she says.
That's amazing. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm so excited to get going with it.
It's been done very well.
That's good to know. That's amazing.
I just want to say thank you so much, Olivia. That was really helpful.
Oh, pleasure.
Really helpful. Thank you.
Really cool.
Really
and you're absolutely lush.
Can we take a quick pic? Is that all right?
Yes, go for it.
Yeah. Got less than a minute. I'll send it round. Fab. Thank you so much. We'll have lovely evenings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Speak to you
Bye.
soon. Take care,
Bye.
ladies. Love you. Bye.